7 o'clock newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and brought to you by Connexus, providing fiber internet to Clinton. Learn more at DeWittDailyNews.com. The leaves are starting to change and cooler temperatures are in the future, which means Clinton's scariest attraction is right around the corner. Janice Peterson, executive director of the Clinton Chamber of Commerce, indicates they were pleased to recently have the help of students from Illinois State University's School of Business to help get the haunted house ready for opening weekend.
We had a big group of ISU College of Business students last night, and they were a humongous help. It was great having them down. We've got some room. We have new rooms this year, so we're still trying to get those organized and in order, but everything's coming along good. Still need some scare volunteers. I'd love to get a group for the 4th. I got to remember the dates. I know the 4th is one of them, but there's 3 dates available that we need a group to scare volunteer. So if somebody's interested, give us a call at the chamber office. Basically, get the rooms ready. Yeah, everything else is done. Well, put the TVs up outside.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Just little things, really. I think that with those kids last night, they just knocked out all the little stuff, like all the cleaning and stuff like that. So I think we're in pretty good shape just to get some groups to do the scares. We asked for a group of a minimum of 10 and hopefully 15 people. And they just need to come dressed in all black, and then we will assign parts. We'll tell them what to do. We'll get them in a costume. We'll get them makeup if it's needed for that part. We show them to the room that they're going to be in, tell them what to do, and then they just have fun at it. To be there by 6 o'clock. A little earlier wouldn't hurt. And then the ticket booth closes at 11, but we don't close the house until the last person's through. So if that's midnight, that's when we close.
The haunted house opens on Friday, October 3rd. Peterson notes they're open 5 weekends this season, including Halloween night. She adds they will be continuing online ticket sales they introduced last year, and tickets are already on sale.
We're open 5 weekends this year, and we are open Halloween night.
Wow.
So we're excited for that to happen. The hours for the actual house are 7 till 11. Again, we don't close until everybody's gone, and we try to open right at 7. Yes, we did that last year, and it was a huge success for us. We had a little blips in the system, but we've corrected those for this year, and we are hoping that people will buy them online because that's the easiest. Then they'll just show me their ticket on their phone and be done with it. They are on sale now. You can go to the Haunted House website, which is clintonhauntedhouse.com, and there's a link there that you can purchase tickets. It's an RIP pass, which gets you basically to the front of the line, but it's double the cost. A regular ticket is $20 and a rush-in pass is $40. And with online ticketing, hopefully there's not going to be a huge line. But last year I got behind on a couple nights, and it just happens. If we have to stop people coming in the house for a reason, if we have to go get somebody or, something like that, then we may have to, it takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So we're going to be backed up that much. Tickets are from every 15 minutes from 7 to 10:45. And there's a certain allotted amount for each time frame. And when those are sold out, it'll say sold out for that time frame. That was part of what happened last year. We sold out from like 7 to 9:30. So then when people that came to the ticket booth couldn't get in the house until 9:30. And then it got kind of worse as you went on. But this year we have enough tickets online and enough tickets at the ticket booth. So we shouldn't have that problem.
For folks waiting in line, Peterson notes there will be concessions for folks to enjoy. The escape room also returns this year.
Right now I don't have a whole lot locked in. We have concessions at the ticket booth, and they are manned typically by Second Chance for Pets. And then we sometimes have a couple vendors, and right now they've not locked in. So I haven't talked to them. So I bet they'll be there.
Tell us about the escape room.
It is $15 for up to 6 people, and you have 15 minutes to go in and solve it. I think it's going to be the same theme as last year, but tweaked because of people that got through it last year. We were a little bit worried at first that we didn't have enough volunteers to help build and clean and everything, but we're doing pretty good.
The house is open Friday and Saturday nights, October 3rd to November 1st. Learn more about the Terror on Washington Street Haunted House and purchase tickets at clintonhauntedhouse.com. Scams continue to be an issue locally. Connie Miller with DeWitt Savings Bank in Clinton says the old tried and true scams continue to be an issue. One you may encounter at the gas pump is called the skimming scam.
Well, a lot of things that have worked in the past are still working. A lot of debit card fraud is really what we're seeing at the bank. Like we've mentioned it before, a lot of skimming where they put a machine on like a card reader at a gas station or an ATM. A lot of that is still happening, and they tamper with like the gas station card readers so that they can get your information. We see a lot of that. So they can actually figure out your PIN on your card number, all of that data gets sent to them as well as the company that's processing your transaction. First of all, a lot of gas stations now are aware of that. So they check their machines frequently. In fact, I was by the Mach 1 the other day and I watched the manager actually go and check all the pumps. So that's good. They also have, if you look at some of the pumps, the machine readers, they might have like a piece of tape to show that it was not tampered with. But that doesn't always work because they can peel the tape off and put another piece of tape on after they tamper with it. A lot of times if you choose to go inside, you wouldn't have to worry about someone trying to tamper. You're going into the cash register and doing the transaction there. They also recommend maybe go to a machine that's closer to the building because they'd probably be noticed. But I mean, most gas stations, they don't see the pumps unless they're literally looking at it. Can happen anywhere. Like ATM machines are notorious for it too, as well. Not so much at the bank because the banks have those big cameras all over the place, and so do the remote ones. But if that usually happens, it's more at a remote location than at the bank.
According to Miller, diligence in checking your accounts is the number one way to make sure your banking information has not been compromised. Most institutions offer online banking of some sort, allowing you 24-hour access to your transactions.
But you know what can make you feel better? Checking your statement. Check, go on your mobile app, just look, make sure that if you see anything suspicious, call your bank. Thankfully, the banks, there's something called Reg E, and it restricts how much you're liable for on your debit card fraudulent transactions. And if you report them quickly, you won't be liable for them. It may take some time to get the money replenished into your account, which is frustrating. But the thing is that if you call the bank, you find it right away, they can take care of it. At DeWitt Savings, we have a fraud hotline you can call, and they have professionals that do this. It's not just us. We'll look things up, but they will do a whole investigation for you. And we stop the credit card, we stop your debit card, we reissue a new debit card and freeze that one.
Miller also points out many institutions offer fraud alert notifications. If a transaction takes place on your account that could be suspicious, there are algorithms in place to catch those and notify you to confirm the purchase. The Monticello Board of Education this week will hear its fiscal year 26 budget. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Superintendent Adam Clapp told Regional Radio the district has been told the corporate personal property replacement tax money, or CPPRT dollars, will be increasing this year.
Yeah, so the big ticket on the agenda this month is our budget, and we'll have a facility update as well. We're right in the middle. Our bathroom project wrapped up before the start of the school year. We're in the middle of still working through our elevator project, but so we'll have an update on that. But the main ticket item is FY26 budget. Budget is looking good. And to your point on homecoming week and board meetings, so I feel like every few years it falls on the same week, and it's just an action-packed week. And then you jam in a board meeting on the Wednesday. So we'll have a board meeting, hopefully. Board meeting is a good one and an efficient one, so we can go catch the end of the bonfire and the powder puff games there. But yeah, as far as the budget goes, feeling really good about the budget.
Clapp reminds CPPRT dollars ebb and flow with the state of Illinois economy. Because of that, they cannot overspend the dollars when abundant and be prepared for the sparse years.
Like we've talked about almost every year around this time, is Monticello's budget hinges on CPPRT revenue. And according to the Illinois Department of Revenue, we should see a small uptick in CPPRT revenue for FY26 when compared to FY25. But we're still being conservative on that. So last year in FY25, we received $9.8 million of CPPRT revenue. This year, we're slated to receive just above $10 million of CPPRT revenue. We're looking forward to that. I'm still not 100% sold, just tracking the data myself. I'm confident we'll be at the same funding level we were last year. And if Illinois Department of Revenue is correct and we're a little bit higher than last year, that's kudos to them and exciting for us.
According to CLAP, CPPRT revenues combined with the 1-cent sales tax have allowed the district to abate taxes several times in the last 10 years. Monticello is regularly recognized as an area of central Illinois with a very low tax rate.
When in terms of CPPRT revenue, I try to budget conservatively because it's not a guarantee that you're going to receive those funds. We've been very fortunate over the last few years. Anyway, I still budget conservatively on those CPPRT revenues. So I'm confident we'll get our funding, same flat level funding from last year, and I'm hopeful that we'll get a little bit more like Illinois Department of Revenue says. In terms of kind of where we are as far as do we want to continue to build fund balances, or are we investing in facilities, or are we investing in, tax abatement? I think we've done all the above, and it's with this year's tax bill. We abated $1.1 million worth of taxes in the tune of dropped our tax rate about 32 cents. So we're very proud of that. Puts our tax rate as one of the lowest ones in the area. And then I believe our tax rate was 3.32 last year. So that was very positive. And we're looking forward to continuing to look at how we can continue to abate taxes and keep our tax rate low while still maintaining high quality facilities and, investing in our teachers and our people and giving high quality raises. So Monticello is still a destination place. So,
Sure.
We just don't want to just continue to build our fund balances. We want to be very conscientious of how we spend those dollars. We've done a good job of that.
Clapp points out CPPRT dollars make up roughly 50% of the district's revenue on a year-to-year basis. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock is news time on this Tuesday. As the fall veto session approaches in Springfield in a few weeks, area school leaders will be watching closely for some proposed legislation that will likely impact them on a nearly annual basis. Legislation aimed at schools is passed through the legislature, and Illinois State Representative Dr. Bill Howder says Illinois schools are often failing at the most basic tasks of educating kids, while the cost to educate kids continues to go up.
It's another thing that is so absolutely frustrating when you see that they're spending in some schools, districts in Chicago, they're spending up to $30,000 a student.
Yeah.
And they're still not being educated. They're still not, huge percentages aren't passing proficiency tests. And when you look at 30 schools in Illinois have 0% that are proficient in reading and math. And we continue to see a decrease in student enrollment and an exponential increase in costs per student and expenditures just in general, not per capita either. So it's what a deal, Seth, what a deal. Costs go up and outcomes go down.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep getting pay increases and better pensions for worse and worse results. I've never seen anything like it. It's a great business model for them, but not for the taxpayers, the students, and the parents.
Dr. Howder says the process of properly educating kids has not been forgotten, but the best practices are not being done. Like many issues, he calls it multifactorial.
Every big problem is usually multifactorial, right? There's different reasons why. And so I do blame the schools and how they're educating somewhat. But we also have to look at why this is happening, and we see this mostly happening in single parent families, kids with one parent, and homes that are very, very broken. And so we're really getting oftentimes broken children into these schools, and it's a very difficult process to when you're collaborating with parents and there's not parents there or they're disengaged, to continue to educate them. I just would say that we don't know we haven't forgotten how to educate children, is what I'm saying. It's that we are getting children that are so behind and they're so broken that the education of those children is just extremely, extremely hard. So we see this in so many ways, with crime, with social isolation, with education. It starts in the family. It starts with parents. And really, I'd like to say it starts with fathers.
The Morton Republican feels family atmosphere plays a large role in the educational success of a child. Based on the latest 2024 Illinois report card data from the State Board of Education, statewide proficiency rates on the Illinois Assessment of Readiness for grades 3 through 8 show 41% of students meeting or exceeding standards in reading and 28% in math, while 80 Chicago public schools reported 0% math proficiency last year. Overall, two-parent homes correlate with a 20 to 45% higher proficiency and attainment per national data. A 2015 national study found single-parent households were weakly associated with lower math and reading scores, and according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development 2009 data, single-parent students scored 16% lower in reading on average. Specifically in the U.S., it was up to 45% lower. News time, 24 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday. Plenty more to get to wrap up the morning show on the WHOW Morning Show.
Selection for a new Chevrolet is here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. Yes, from the Corvettes to the Suburbans and everything to help your family or business, Chevrolet has value options for your needs. This month, see our Silverado trucks in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel. Our Silverados have big savings with more discounts if you trade yours in. Chevrolet, together let's drive. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
News time, 26 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. The Illinois Farm Bureau Nurse Practitioner Scholarship Program continues to make a difference in rural underserved healthcare areas. Among the recent scholarship recipients is Amanda Sowers from Jasper County.
So I have just, since I was a child, known I want to grow up and take care of people. There wasn't a huge significant, thing that happened in my childhood. I just, when something crazy happens in somebody's life, I'm a giver and a doer, and that's my love language and how I show people that I care. And so it just made sense to me to grow up and take care of people. I plan to work in these small communities for the rest of my life if possible. Like you said, I grew up in a small town, population 1700, and it was really cool growing up to see, if somebody's family member got sick, like the whole town rallied behind them and, brought them food and drove them to appointments. So that was really special to see from that aspect. And then once I became a nurse in a small town, you see it from the opposite side where they're like, oh yeah, this is my neighbor's friend who brought me just because. So it's really great to see how the communities really rally together and support each other. And so that's really special to me to see from the nursing aspect now.
She is receiving a $4,000 scholarship. Learn more about the IFB Nurse Practitioner Scholarship Program at RIMSAP.com, which is the Rural Illinois Medical Student Assistance Program. The Illinois Farm Bureau Actively Engaged Student of the Month is back for a second academic year. The September honoree is Lewis Barnes from Pleasant Hill in Pike County. An FFA and 4-H'er, 3-sport athlete, NHS, and student council member, and also helps at the Pike County Fair and the American Legion in Pleasant Hill.
I always keep my calendar updated to what I have to do, whether it's something like a FFA contest or a basketball game or a cross country meet, whatever, you know, you might have dentist appointments during the day and then you got to be someplace else. There's always things that'll stop you in your way on the schedule. Like I went to the Farm Progress show a couple weeks ago, and then we had a cross country meet in Macomb. So I had my dad come get me from the Farm Progress show so we could go to Macomb to run for the first meet of the season. There's always ways to deal with it. 4-H and the county fair scene, I am involved there because it's a family tradition. Like the 4-H, my great grandma, she was in the 4-H in the 1920s, and then everybody after that has been in 4-H. And then county fair stuff kind of started around my mom in the late 70s and early 80s. She showed cattle, and then I was like, cows look kind of fun. So when I got to started 4-H myself, I started with goats because cattle were a little big at the time. And then the next year we showed cattle because my brother was in it, and he helped me along the way. And then the county fair stuff, I took vegetables up there to the Pike County Fair, did pretty good. I got best of show with a cabbage I had growed in the garden. And then I took my cattle up there, just went up there. I don't have the animals to win the show. I just went up there to have fun and meet new people.
Information on a Student of the Month recognition is available at farmweeknow.com/actively engaged. News brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and by Connexus, providing fiber internet to Clinton. Learn more at DeWittDailyNews.com. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. A look at sports is next.